But I think Manchester United need to start looking into getting a new left back. Because I think Bruno is a very technically gifted player in terms of the way he shoots the ball. He knows that football. He knows how to manipulate the ball, just like how Kevin De Bruyne knows how to ping a grass cutter that is spinning at 40 degrees. We are doing a good job. I think that has boosted a lot of the players. And you see, like Casemiro is still not 100 sharp. I'm watching him, I see him, he's not yet there. But when he is there, you are going to see magic. You guys are going to see magic in that field. Casemiro, Maino. Let me get used to saying Casemiro in that midfield. Both ticking. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode on the Glory Reds podcast. It's your boy Don Benito, and apologies for this very late match reaction to the Luton and Manchester United game. We decided that we're gonna try a few things, and one of the things that we said that we would try was at least try to digest the information, digest what had happened during the weekend, digest the games, and then have a clear picture and have at least good information to come and give you guys. Because normally sometimes when you react when you react immediately after the game, it becomes a little bit difficult because you're emotional and you're not really sure, you're not going to put everything right because your mind is still warped. You're still in that game. You're still in the zone. So you're not going to see things clearly. But, so let's jump right into it. Our starting lineup was pretty much, it picked itself. I think even in the Manchester United app, I got like a 11 out of 11 for the starting lineup. And our starting lineup was as follows. We had Onana with Dalot on the right, Varane, Maguire, and Luke Shaw. Then we had Kobe Mainu. We had Casemiro in the midfield with Bruno Fernandes. And then we had Garnacho on the right, Rashford on the left, and Højlund up top. That was pretty much the same starting lineup that had played the previous games, and they'd done well. And I think the gaffer went with what worked. And it worked. It really worked. My only concerns, and which is something that I'll talk about soon, but my concerns are our left back position. I think let me actually dive into that, because if I don't, I might forget. Luke Shaw this season has been good. Don't get me wrong, he's been good for us. He has been brilliant since he became a man. But you know what I mean? Like, this season we've needed Luke Shaw more, and he has not really been there for us. And when you take into consideration that Taram Malacia is injured, we do not have a left-footed left back at United at the moment. Because with Luke Shaw injured, it is a problem. We are now having to put players in the wrong places. So recently we've had Victor Lindelof at that left back position. He didn't do a bad job. Lindelof, you will always get he's a steady Eddie. You will always get a steady performance from Lindelof. But that's not how the manager wants to play. The manager has always emphasized about putting the right-footed player in the right place. You know what I mean? For example, Martinez obviously is a big miss, but then we are not really missing him if you think about it, because Harry Maguire has done a decent job. Johnny Evans has done a decent job. Rafael Varane has been mint. So that centre-back positioning has been all right. But he has always been I need to play a left-footed centre-back in the left-sided centre-back position. It has always been his thing. A left-footed left winger, a left-footed left winger in his position, a right-footed right winger in his position. You know what I'm talking about. The same thing. So with Luke Shaw out and having these concerns, and with the season that is still ahead, I think Manchester United at this moment need to start looking at options. I know we have, what's his name, Fernandes. But Fernandes' story is a little bit tricky for me because I'm not too sure whether we've sold him or whether he is on loan. I think he's on loan. And if he was sold, I think there must have been a buyback clause, because it would have been criminal for us to let go of Fernandes just like that. Fernandes is it Fernandes or Hernandez? I keep forgetting, but I think it's Fernandes. He's a left-footed, he's a left back with the long hair. You know, he came from Real Madrid. He's good. He's good. I think we took him. He went to Granada, or was it Granada? Where the hell did that guy go? But that guy is a gem. And why he's not at Manchester United right now doing what Kobe and Garnacho and all the other young players that are doing at Manchester United, I don't understand. Tyrell Malacia is not there. He's out. Like, he's been out literally the whole season. We've had to rely on other options coming off the bench or putting, be it, what's his name? Delo or Wan-Bissaka or Lindelof, you know, which is not what the manager wants to do. So that in itself is an issue, because you can easily blame that and say that, like, if we lose a game, you can easily say that, nah, it's because we've not had our right players in the right positions. But I think Manchester United need to start looking into getting a new left back. Be it an understudy to Luke Shaw, be it somebody that's going to come and challenge for Luke Shaw, it doesn't really matter. In fact, I actually challenge Manchester United to actually bring a left back, because Luke Shaw has showed previously that he's not fazed by competition. And that is a brilliant trait to have, because ever since we've brought in left backs to come in and contest with Luke Shaw, he's been mint. He has been a machina. He's just been too much. So it is, I think United right now need to look at that. We need to start looking at left backs. Right now, currently, as I'm talking, I think the free agent market is open. I don't know if there are any free agent left backs out there right now. And I know United's policies are not to just buy for the sake of buying. But that is an issue. If we want to play total football we let go of Reguilon, who was doing a decent job. You understand? We let go of him. Why? Yes, the loan was short term, but come on. We have issues at the back. We need to solve those issues. So I really needed to say that, because this season, man, we love Luke Shaw. We get it. Like, this season for United, it's like every time we miss a star player or first team player or a player that's supposed to be in that starting lineup, it has always hit us in a very bad way. And that is why I am on this, that we need to figure out how to get in a new left back. We need a new left back. We do. A young one that's going to come in and compete with Luke Shaw. And I know it's going to be difficult because Tyrell Malacia is injured, and if he comes, but then we think back, and then we're like, okay, a team that wants to be successful and compete in all fronts and actually even challenge needs to have at least two teams. Now, if we're looking at that, now I don't know if Wan-Bissaka is going to be sold or if he's going to stay. I don't know if Manchester United are looking into bringing in another right back, because we've got Delo and Wan-Bissaka there. But let's just say they don't, right? Let's just say they don't bring in a right back, because we've got two. We have two. And Lindelof, say he misses out, he can play right back. He plays a better right back. He plays in the right back position better than he does in the left. But we have defenders to put in there. Now, okay, Wan-Bissaka, Delo, proper right backs. Left backs, Luke Shaw, Tyrell Malacia. Fernandes, we don't know, because we're not trying to bring anybody in. But we have Tyrell Malacia. Malacia has brought in, I think, a mixed bag of feelings towards the United camp. People are not sure about him. He looks like a good prospect. He looks like a hard worker. He gives me, I don't want to say Patrice Evra, but he kind of does give me Patrice Evra vibes in the sense that if we give him time and he actually digs in and works hard, he can actually be a proper player, because there is a player in there. There is a player with tenacity. He's strong. He runs back and forth. That's one thing. That's a very good thing. The only issue that was going on with Taran Malacia in his first season was the fact that it was his first season. You know, people were looking at him like, yeah, his positional awareness is not good, blah, blah, blah. He looks like he's all over the place. But that will come. That was his first season. That will come. But we need to fill in these gaps into this game. But now, let's dive into the game. Luton. Luton was supposed to be a must-win game for United. We had to win that game, come rain, come thunder, come I don't know. But we had to win that game. And you know what? We did. I will take that. I will take the 3 points, because you know what that does? It validates my opinion. It validates what I've been saying. I have been saying, guys, keep the faith. Let us hold on. Let's not give up. Let's not give up. If we get the right players in, if we do the right things, we will win games. And lo and behold, we did it. Now, I know it wasn't the prettiest of sight, but mind you, when Liverpool goes out there and struggles against the team and gets a point or wins, like grinds out a win, it's like, oh, champion mentality. This is what people that are competing in the top 4 should do, or this is what people that are competing on a higher level, this is what they do. You know what I mean? They grind out these wins. Now, Luton, as far as I'm concerned, this whole season has been a menace to society. That ground, that pitch, there is something about it. And I know most of you don't believe in juju, you don't believe in black magic, but I'm telling you what, that field gives off vibes of juju. I don't know. You can go there, fit, on point, best team in the starting lineup, but then go and choke there. I don't get it. I don't know if it is the angle. Even when I was watching the game, I don't know. The camera angles were weird. That ground is weird. A lot of teams have gone there and struggled. Some of the teams that should have struggled have gone there and won. But the big boys, let's just talk about the big boys. The big boys went there and struggled. We used to be big boys, but I mean, we are big boys. We're just below the big boys. But we went there and we did the business. We got the 2 points. 2 quick fire goals from Rasmus. Like, guys, can we give this guy the keys? This boy is brilliant. I was about to drop an F-bomb, but he's brilliant. 2 quick fire goals, a mistake. Now, I know a lot of people are going to try and analyze and dissect that game. The only thing I can say to you right now is, when Manchester United was playing poor at that time, you were giving them shit. You told them that, you guys were saying, oh no, they're not playing well, the manager doesn't understand this, and we kept saying, no, listen, we are missing a lot of players. I don't know why is it that when it comes to Manchester United, a lot of things are just ignored. A lot of things. If United go down, say for example, like that Liverpool game against Manchester United, everybody said Liverpool played bad, but nobody said Manchester United played well, we defended well. No, nobody said that, because we're Manchester United. Liverpool were pissed. They were shit that game against us. And I don't know why people are not, just because they had all these shots on target and they were like on our throats, yes, but they didn't execute their job. Now, when we do that, like when we go out and have a game where we will go and absolutely terrorize a team, and then we don't score, and then we miss chances and all that stuff, people go into us and just talk a whole bunch of shit about us. United is not this, United is that, United is this, that. We are never allowed to have a moment. Now, when you take into consideration everything that has been happening with our club, I'm talking specifically Manchester United. I'm not talking about Liverpool. I'm not talking about Arsenal. I'm not talking about Man City. I'm not talking about The fuck? I don't know. I'm talking about Man United. Since the beginning of this season, we've had issues. We've been having to deal with issue after issue after issue. When I say issues, I'm talking about injuries, drama, everything. Everything is encumbered in that thing. It's all encapsulated in that thing. We've never had a free sailing, we've never had a chilled moment where we're enjoying our football. Never. This season, not a chance. We've just been dealing with issue after issue after issue after problem after problem after problem. We can't breathe. And then when we find it, and within that whole chaos, I am a firm believer of when there is chaos, like when things don't make sense in a football club, I don't think it is fair to expect total football. I don't think so. That is why my expectations of Manchester United this season have been very chilled, have been very leveled. I understand the position that they're in. I understand the quality that we're having. I'm watching the football. Are you guys not watching the Ujogo or Bonito? Are you guys not watching the games? You see that there's an issue. I remember the one time I pointed out the issue of our midfield being overrun, that Scott McTominay is letting people through. Kobe Mainoo can't do it by himself. Casemiro, he can't do it by himself. Bruno Fernandes is not there. We talked about those leaks. And I mentioned that a lot of teams were taking advantage of our final third-ish. When they get into our half, just before the arc and just a couple of meters away, they were always trying to bombard there. And we were always losing balls in that position, especially in that arc. Nobody the perfect game where Scott McTominay comes on. I don't know which game it was. I forgot. Was it Burnley? Could have been Burnley. Where it was so evident that the midfield, there was no one. And I think people all started, blame. And I think I blamed Delors because the ball came from Delors' side, and I'm like, forget Scott McTominay. You guys are shitting on Scott McTominay. We know that Scott McTominay is not well versed in defending. So I really thought that it was cheap to go in on Scott McTominay rather than actually dig deep and see what was going on. Anyway, the point is when Casemiro and Martinez came back, they were cutting out presses from teams. Like in the final third, when the team is trying to press, Casemiro is very good at anticipating the ball. Even Licha, playing the ball from the back. Because Licha is our best ball-playing defender. That guy is very technically good on the ball. He can ping a pass from the back. He can thread a pass in between. So there were a lot of things that we were missing in that. And then we were missing the safety of Roberto Carlos on that left flank and the constant bombing, because Luke Shaw doesn't get tired. He's like 3 lang pak. You know what I mean? For all those United fans that know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about when I talk about 3 lang pak. Luke Shaw has that thing. He just keeps on bombing. Back, forth. We're not seeing more and much of it, and I suspect it's because he's carrying something. Lo and behold, because he got injured, he walked out of that pitch, which was concerning. Which is concerning because Luke Shaw in that team really elevates us. It also elevates a certain Marcus Rashford. You know what I mean? Marcus Rashford plays better when Luke Shaw is in and around him. You know what I mean? They have this connection, this telepathic connection that they've cultivated over the years. You know what I mean? It's not something that's just not there. And I saw bits and pieces of it in this previous game. It's just that there were moments where Rashford wasn't doing, that thing where Roberto Carlos will make the run and then he'll give it. He wasn't giving good passes. But other than that, it was a good performance for me. The issue also with Manchester United is when we score and when we take the lead is we become lethargic, we become complacent, and that is something that we need to really work on. Bruno Fernandes, I need to talk about Bruno Fernandes because he's my Magnifico. He's my favorite Manchester United player at the club, and this game was a disaster. Bruno Fernandes was a disaster. No, I take it back. Not a disaster. He wasn't bad in that sense, but then for the kind of player that he is, it was not a good performance. I was not happy. I found myself being very frustrated with Bruno. Not to say that I want him to be dropped. No, Bruno doesn't want to be dropped. He wants to play every game, all day, every day, and tomorrow. He doesn't want to stop. But I think at this point, at this moment, I think we need to give Bruno Fernandes a rest. I don't know. I just think he needs a game where... Because I always believe... You see, like, players like Bruno Fernandes or even Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford, at some point, like, when he was playing like piss, I was saying, you know what? Let's bench him. Because Marcus Rashford coming off the bench is also lethal. I don't know if you guys remember, but Rashford coming off the bench is a problem. Even Bruno. Now, another way of trying to bring back this fire or thing is bring back these players in substitution position, because these guys know that I need to go and support this team. I need to go and help. I need to go and contribute. I can't go in there and start taking a piss. You know what I mean? I need to go in there and perform. So I always had this image in my head, or this thought in my head that, you know what, let's bench Bruno for a game. Let's see how that pans out, whether we're going to miss him. If we miss him, then that's unfortunate, because we don't want to miss certain players. We want to be able to be comfortable to play an Eriksen in that position. You know what I mean? Because Eriksen is not playing right now. We've got Casemiro, we've got Kobe Mainoo, we've got Scott McTominay, we've got Eriksen. Who else is there? 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 But you understand what I mean? So who do we bring in? Eriksen is a good number 10. He can easily play for Bruno when Bruno is not there. But we don't choose to play him. We just used to play Bruno, and Bruno was frustrating. I wouldn't be surprised if everybody marked if they gave him a very low player rating. He was doing all the right things in terms of running, marking, closing down, chasing down the balls when other players are not chasing down the ball, being vocal, being in the mix. The only problem with Bruno in that game that pissed me off the most was the fact that for somebody so technically gifted like Bruno, because I think Bruno is a very technically gifted player in terms of the way he shoots the ball. He knows that football. He knows how to manipulate the ball, just like how Kevin De Bruyne knows how to ping a grass cutter that is spinning at 40 degrees. You know, Bruno outside dinks, you know, little shimmies. Like, he knows those passes. He knows how to think outside the box. But then my frustration comes in when he doesn't execute that pass, or when he doesn't complete that pass, when that pass doesn't reach its destination, or it's a Hollywood pass that doesn't make sense, or he blasted one ball and I'm like, Magnifico, what are you doing? What are you doing? First of all, we've scored too early because you guys now are threatening to let in more goals. And here you are, you're not contributing, like, you're not helping us stabilize the ship. Like, you know what I mean? Get your act together, Bruno. Either that or let's rest him. Because our Magnifico is playing every game. I think at this point it might be taking a toll on him. But yeah, Bruno was not very, very good. Delors was okay. I know a lot of you love Delors. I just think he's an okay player. I don't think he's wow like everybody else seems to think. I think he had an okay game. Casemiro was brilliant. Kobe Mainoo was brilliant. Rafael Varane, brilliant. Maguire was brilliant. Evans, when he came on, brilliant. And when I say brilliant, I mean, like, these guys did their jobs. These gentlemen did their job. Unfortunately for, like, Maguire and Casemiro, and they picked up very early injuries. And can we also just mention that these referees also, they need to stop smoking what it is that they're smoking before the game. They need to stop that stuff. I don't know if they do these reviews. Like, I mean, I'm assuming they do, because we always get these panels of these guys discussing what has happened in the previous weekend. But I mean, as referees, You come in there, you'll be like, okay, this past game week I was reffing the Liverpool versus or Man City versus Chelsea game. All right, what were some of the issues that you were dealing with in that game? 1, 2, 3, 3. This. Bang! I am pretty sure what happened in that Chelsea-Man City game had happened in one of the other 20 games that have been played throughout the week. Now you try and sit there and compare some of the fouls and the things that you guys are doing. Because I think there was a foul that happened. I watch so many football, it's just very difficult for me to. But there was a foul that was done, I think was it a Liverpool game? I think it must have been Liverpool. And I think the same thing happened at United, and the inconsistencies are ridiculous. They are driving this game in a way that is making people lose their minds. So I thought we were good, considering that hostile place that Luton is. You know, they kept on bombarding us. Those guys are relentless. You know what? If you're going to sit there as a United fan and still take a piss or whine about the win, then that is your business. Like, you just want United to suffer, to lose, so that you can feel vindicated, so that you can say, yes, let's get this manager out. Because strangely enough, this is what I think. A lot of those fans that are not celebrating these wins or that are not enjoying these moments, because you know what, anything can happen. I'm enjoying these current moments because this season has been very difficult for us. For us to go through these run of games is something that we need to cherish, that we need to enjoy. Like, we really need to, because anything can happen. And the thing is, and then everything changes. Then we're back into this, and then everybody's losing their mind. And then instead of when you were supposed to be enjoying when we were winning, you're back to being pissed off, and even more pissed off, and even driving an issue or an agenda to try and get this manager out because of that. We need to be behind these guys. Let us manage our expectations. These boys are good, but if you're not paying attention to the season, if you're not paying attention to what the hell is going on at United or in football right now, then I'm sorry, mate. You don't have the right to have an opinion that is out of place, because you're just talking nonsense. You don't know. You don't understand what's going on. These referees really need to focus. It is unbecoming. Casemiro got a yellow card in that game. The yellow card that he was given, the offense that he committed wasn't a yellow card offense. And then there was a second opportunity where he took a bite out of a player, which you could have been like, hey, that should have been a yellow card. That wasn't awarded. So now I ask myself, is this the kind of, do the referees, when they sit in their panels or when they're discussing, are they going into much detail as we are? Because a lot of the fans from different clubs, we're all complaining. We watch one game, we see something happening, and then you watch your game, and then the same thing that happened in your game is happening here, but then two different results or two different outcomes. There has to be some sort of consistency when it comes to these refereeing. But yeah, it was a good game for me. I wasn't stressed. A lot of you know I'm very superstitious. Superstitious to the core when it comes to football, especially when it comes to football. So when Rasmus scored the early goal, I had mixed feelings. I thought it was a bad omen, because scoring too early could be a bad omen. It normally is in football, if you know what I mean. Teams that score early and they're celebrating like the first minute or second, and then the game ends, they've lost, because there's something that happens in football. Footballers will understand this, but normal people that haven't played the game will not get it. But I've lost my train of thought. See, when you talk too much and then your thing just what was I talking about? Damn it. Oh man. But anyway, we need to focus. We need to we need to relax on the players. The players are doing the best. I think we have a better structure at United currently at the moment. And when I say structure, I mean with the right players, with the players that are there, we are doing a good job. I think that has boosted a lot of the players. And you see, like Casemiro is still not 100 sharp. I'm watching him, I see him, he's not yet there. But when he is there, you are going to see magic. You guys are going to see magic in that field. Casemiro, Maino. Let me get used to saying Casemiro in that midfield. Both ticking. And then you have Bruno Fernandes doing his thing. My God. Like, I know I just complained about Bruno Fernandes, but he is one player that, regardless of him playing the way he plays, I just need him on that pitch. Because he's always bleeding out for me on that pitch. He always uses his last breath. He's not the quickest of players, but you will see Mike Magnifico chasing back. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Manchester United, guys, I don't know what a lot of you think. I'm sure some of you are on the fence. I was watching not a document, but I was watching something on YouTube the other day. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? And the fans, they're not sure. Like, people are coming out, they're happy. They're like, oh yeah, we won a couple of games on the bounce, 4 games on the bounce, we're moving good. So everybody's talking, everybody's happy. But then I recollect the moment, like 2 months ago, where everybody was just like, the fuck is going on here? Even myself included. But then one thing that I would say that separated me was the fact that you see with this Manchester United, and I think a lot of you will agree, a lot of you United fans will agree, regardless, and I think we need to stop this bad behavior or this sort of mentality, because it is something that has been there throughout. I hope that with the new management and everything that's coming into the club, that will change. But United, who have always had this aura of, we can beat anybody at any time, at any day, any given day. It's just a matter of the boys turning up. Boys deciding that, okay, you know what, lads, today's the game. Every season we have to give them 1 or 2 games where we are absolutely elite. You know what I mean? Where we are running, doing everything. 1 or 2 games. Today is the game. Let's give our fans a good show. They come in there, play elite, do their business, and then bounce. Whoop a team's ass, basically. I'm talking PSG Champions League. We're playing in a team with forgive me, not useless players. But not our first team. Not our first team. Man City, the year when they're supposed to take the cup at our expense, we go 2-0 down. Second half, we come back, different team. Whack. We're just there. Fimbo. Like the leopards of Congo. We're just smacking. So, when I say it in that sense, that's what I mean. Like, we can beat any team at any time, at any given day. Any given Sunday, we'll smack somebody. The problem is, it is inconsistent. The problem is, there are few and far moments like that we get. So we will get a moment of brilliance, like, and then start tanking. Now, we've had that because our players have not been injured, some of them fitness, but we are in a good place right now. I don't think there's anybody who's not fit in the club right now, except those that are injured, of course. And then we have the right players. Maguire, man, can we please just give a shout out to Maguire? Because, you know what? Maguire has taught me a lesson. He really, really has. I was on Maguire for the longest of time. And I think that was purely because he was our captain. He was getting a lot of money. I think so. I think my anger to Maguire was misguided. Because, yes, even when he was captain, he did have moments where he was playing very, very good. But he had more moments where he was playing bad than good. So now, right now, he's playing well. Like, I'm happy with Harry Maguire. Like I have got nothing bad to say except that yeah, he does get spun a little bit. You know, he's there's this confidence about him where he's bombing forward. You know, he's running. I don't know if the manager's telling him, yeah, just continue your run. Just bomb forward, go forward, do your thing, you will score. You know, I don't know. It's a confidence that he knows that he'll come back. But sometimes he gets caught out of position and there'll be a situation. But that's why we have Varane. That's why we have Kobe Mainoo. That's why we have Casemiro. That's why we have Luke Shaw. That's why we have Delo. People to cover where somebody is. And yeah, like he's been decent. Evans. You know, we complain and talk about, oh, these guys are old, man. These guys are putting in vintage performances. Like, you might not like it, but they're doing their job. They're doing the decent thing. The only thing that we need to do now more is score more goals. We are getting in the groove of scoring goals, but we are not scoring enough. Garnacho needs to sharpen his tools. Rashford needs to sharpen his tools. Højlund just needs to continue on the run that he's on right now. He needs to. He has to. I mean, I think he has broke the record of being the youngest. You know, I like that stat. Be the youngest player to score in 6 consecutive games in the Premier League. 21 and 14 days. You look at Rasmus Højlund, that nigga doesn't look 21. No ways. That nigga looks at least 27. You know, with the acne's big and he's playing football. Love Rasmus Højlund right now. He's doing the business. And his conversion rate, by the way, is ridiculous. I can't get off the holes. I can't get hold of the stats right now. But I am pretty sure his numbers, his conversion rate are elite. He's having like two shots, 2 goals, or a shot, a goal. His conversion rate is ridiculous. And yet, even with the goals that he's scoring, he's still not getting that service. Rasmus is not getting that full service that he needs. You see, he's even adopting this Firmino, Harry Kane-esque, even Benzema-esque sort of style of play where he's dipping in, coming, getting the ball. Man, Rasmus Højlund is he's brilliant. He's brilliant. We need to use him. And he likes the 1-2s. He likes to turn around and run. He likes to hold that ball, wait for you to come, give it to you, spin, run, expecting you to lay down for him so he can go and finish it. You understand? We have a gem in Rasmus Højlund. I do still think we need to add, maybe bring Mason Greenwood back, you know, so that Mason Greenwood, man, is a elite striker. He's a number 9. Like, he's levels on levels on levels. I remember I was watching something and people were comparing the ceilings of, was it Garnacho and Mason Greenwood? I laughed because everybody says Garnacho. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Mason Greenwood has the higher ceiling. Mason Greenwood is levels. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate he has a very dark cloud hanging over him. And people seem to forget the kind of quality player that he is. But Mason Greenwood walks into a Real Madrid team, walks into a Barcelona team, walks into a Man City team, walks into an Arsenal team. Mason Greenwood. He can play in the front 3. That entire front 3. And you know what? I'm going to say this and you guys will correct me or something. One of the best players to ever. I was thinking about this the other day. There's only one player that has been the most elite of all elite. One player that played left wing, center forward, right wing, the same as Cristiano Ronaldo. I thought about it the other day. Ronaldo, you put him on the right, he'll play. He doesn't complain that, no, I prefer to be on the left. Or I prefer to come from this. I prefer to do this. No. Put Ronaldo on the left, he'll do the business. You put him on the right, he does the business. You put him up top, the rest is history. Mason Greenwood is like that. Let me just say it. Mason Greenwood is exactly like that. Mason can play on the left. Mason can play on the right. He can play up top. He is clinical. I think he's even more clinical than Rasmus Højlund. I think he's a better striker than Rasmus Højlund. And I know that's going to be an unpopular thing for the people right now because there's this thing that's going on with Greenwood. And how dare I say that about Rasmus Højlund, our gem, our star boy. I'm not saying that Rasmus Højlund is a bad player. I'm just saying that Mason Greenwood is better. It is a fact, a cold, hard fact. There is no front three player at Manchester United that is better than Mason Greenwood. No one. Not Rashford, not... I don't mention Martial because, but no one. No one is going to give you the same energy on the left, right, and center like Mason Greenwood will. No one. So we bring Mason Greenwood back. We've got Amad Diallo sitting on the bench. We've got Pelestri there being marinated in Spain. We've got, our wing options, these kids. Let's use them as the class of 24 or 25. Like this young, like Kobe Mainoo. Like our team is going to be run by youngsters. You know what I mean? This is exciting. This is brilliant. Like, I don't know. But the only thing that I can say to United fans is, guys, let's be patient. Let's stop this narrative or this agenda of the manager out. You're not enjoying the football. Just, stop comparing us to a Man City. Stop comparing us to Liverpool. Stop comparing us to Tottenham. Stop comparing us to Brighton. Stop comparing us to fucking Luton. Stop comparing us to Chelsea. Every club is running their own race. Everybody's in their own lane. Everybody's doing their own thing. Let's stop this madness. You understand? Let's stop it. Let's focus on our team. Our team, we know that without most of the star players, is shit. Our team without Bruno, without Casemiro, without Varane, it's going to aid me to say this. Without Delors, without Højlund, we will struggle. Casemiro, Kobe Mainoo, we will struggle. We will absolutely struggle. And these are our star players. Now, this can happen at anybody. Like, this is happening everywhere. Injuries and all that. And all that other jazz. We just need to play our game. You guys need to understand that our season has been rocky. The moment you accept United for who they are, not who they used to be. Forget who they used to be. We are working towards that. We are trying to get to a point where we'll be like, we used to be like this. This is the United that we recognize. We're not yet there. Thank God for us. Ineos is in the building. You know what I mean? Ineos is there now, coming there, doing the stuff, trying to make changes. We're trying to get director of football, CEOs, the football people that are coming to United and everything that's going on. Man, those things are news, good news for us. The recruitment is going to be better. We're going to start seeing players that you've never heard of. Players from hopefully Africa. A player that is doing the business here. Or, we're going to get those kind of signings. Signings that we've always sat there and thought, why are we not getting these players? How is Liverpool just going out there and getting these players? How is this guy getting these players? How? But, yeah. So moving forward, honestly, I am still in a good space with United. I think we are playing very, very well based on you know what I mean? If you get me when I say this, then you understand. So for our standards, we are playing very well. I think we're even better. I think refs and staff have got a thing on Casemiro because I don't know. Either that or Casemiro is just not yet fully back to fitness. Like, he's not crisp 100. And when I say crisp 100, remember when I used to talk about Pogba? Me and D, we have this thing when we talked about Pogba. When you want to know that Pogba is fully fit, when he's playing on the pitch, he has this certain bounce on him when he's playing. He's always bouncing. He has this thing about him when he's fully, truly fit. and you will see the best of Paul Pogba when he's doing that. So now we're trying to use the same analogy or the same sort of criteria to thinking about the other players as well. So Casemiro, for me, he's not yet there. I really think so. For me, when I see Casemiro is fit, it's when he's giving no-look passes. When you see him enjoying giving balls for the outside, thinking, just doing things looking classy, then you know the boy is fit. Right now, he's not. He's scrambling for tackles, for certain tackles. He misses some tackles. He doesn't look sharp yet. Kobe looks sharp. And that is a good thing to have because they're complementing each other. So other than that, I think we're doing well. I think Garnacho, big ups to him. 21 games starting for United. Like he's an undroppable. But we've got people like Amad Diallo that we would like to start seeing coming in. It would be very interesting. Not interesting, but it would be good for him to get some minutes under his legs. The guy refused to go on loan, saying that he wants to work on he wants to fight for his place at United. We're not giving him the opportunity. I don't know if the gaffer thinks Amad Diallo's not there, because that would be a lie, and that would be blasphemy, and that can get him sacked, because everybody, just as much as the whole world knows who Kobe Mainoo is, the whole world knows who Amad Diallo is, and everybody knows what Amad Diallo is capable of. Everybody have seen him. It's not a hoax. It's not a nah. It's for real. It's not a drill. It's the real deal. So it'll be very interesting to see how we move forward. But Garnacho, he's playing a lot of games, not scoring now and then. I think he can be pulled out some substitutions. We can drop him. Or have a game where Ahmad takes over, Garnacho comes in as a substitute. I'm telling you, substitutions for players that have been failing to score is good. I was a football player. I understand. I know. Because you come in there, you are in the bench. You're sitting on the bench there. You're seeing the players playing. You have been dropped because, yes, you've been okay. Like, you've been playing very well. You've been on point. You've just not been scoring. You know what I mean? Or you're just struggling. You help the team in another way, in other ways that you do, right? But then a player on the bench we're watching the game. You see the game. It's, this guy, I think I can take this guy. I can do that. Oh yeah. I can, when I can score. He's not that quick. You have these thoughts, when I get him, I want to make those runs. I want to do this. This striker, I see that he's doing this. When I get back in the game, I'm going to avoid him. I'm going to pull him to the side. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make him uncomfortable. I'm going to go at him direct. These are the things that happen in a player when he's on the bench. You know what I mean? So when you come in there, you're excited. Then you see you're being, then, this thing here, a player is going in there to do the business. So I think some players just need to be dropped, just so that you can activate that thing, so that they don't feel like they can continue playing shit and they will be rewarded for it. You understand what I mean? We need these players to have this mentality of listen, if I don't perform, somebody else can come in here and do the business. Somebody will come in here and actually perform. You know what I mean? So we need them to have that mentality. But other than that, right now, I am happy with our performances. I'm happy because I was patient. I was backing the manager. So my faith is being rewarded. Anything can happen. And I'm saying it on a personal level, not trying to shit on anybody. No, I just didn't it didn't make sense to me why we need to get rid of Erik ten Hag. A man that won us 2 cups. Sorry, not 2 cups. A trophy, got us to a final, and made us get top 4 in his first season, in a team that was a disaster. Like a hurricane, I don't know, John or whoever came through United there and just destroyed everything. And this manager came in and fixed in things. And all of a sudden, everybody are just jumping on his back because we want to get rid of him because what? And you, as a fan, a United fan, you see that we have got injuries. And you still have the audacity to open your mouth and say, we need to get rid of this manager. He doesn't know. He doesn't think. When Mourinho said that winning second with this United was the greatest thing that he had ever, like the greatest thing that he had ever done, you laughed. You laughed. It only came out later. Then you're like, oh. But then still again, even with that information, you still sit here and say, we want the manager out. You get rid of this manager, who are you bringing in? Who are you bringing in? De Zerbi? Fuck off. Harry Potter? Fuck off. Carlo Ancelotti? Nagelsmann? Fuck off. Like, who's there? Who is there to take this Manchester United to where it needs to be? Erik ten Hag is the gaffer. He's the man. He's the boss. He's the commander. We need to forget. Whoever he puts on that team, in that pitch, we need to give him the benefit of the doubt. Every time he substitutes, Scott McTominay, and Scott McTominay scores, nobody gives him praise. Like, nobody, I've noticed that nobody gives the manager praise for doing what he does, for doing that, for bringing in Scott McTominay, and Scott McTominay goes in and scores. We give Scott McTominay the praises because Scott McTominay is a super sub. But he was brought in by the gaffer because the gaffer noticed something and said, you know what, Scott, go in and do the business. Yes, albeit we don't like Scott McTominay in the midfield. We don't like him being there. We would like him up top. But how do you reconcile that thing? Because he's a midfielder. So you put him in that midfield and hope he bombs forward and does his thing. And then you hope that he does a job trying to stifle the opposition midfield. To break plays, stop any sort of attack. He needs to be there. Helping with clearing loose balls, defending crosses, defending corners. You know what? Nobody gives the manager when he does these kind of things. But we were quick to jump on him. Oh, when we lose a game. When we lose a game, we're not playing well. There's no... We know that. We know that. Last season, we saw a structure of football. We saw a style of play of football when everybody was fit. We're starting to see resemblance of that. It's not 100%. It's not right there on the money. But we are not that team that got smacked up in the beginning of the season by teams that didn't make sense. We're not that team. We are not that team. And get that into your head right now. We need to be behind these boys. We are not the same. We have elevated. We have moved from here, where we were. Let's just say this was the threshold, right? We were here. We've come here. We've not made a big leap, but we're here. This gap here is an improvement. It's an improvement. Now we're slowly, gradually working on that. Obviously, injuries and everything else that's surrounding the club are not helping. But we're in a good place right now. Every game, like the gaffer said, I love that quote. Every game is a cup final. 100%. And let me tell you something right now. Manchester United wouldn't be able to I don't think we'll be in the good place that we're in if we're in Europe. I don't think so. I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, don't think so. I believe us not being in Europe has been the best thing that has happened to this club in a long time. I mean, yes, next season we're going to be back. But I mean for this season. Because a lot of things have been written off. You know what I mean? A lot of things have been written off about United. And it's just like, But I really believe that we can really give some players a run for their money. Already, there are some teams up above us that drop points. We just need to be consistent. I don't care the 1-0s, the 2-1s. Like we did that last season. Our goal difference didn't go up. Like that's just something that's there. We can't avoid it. We can't. I don't know. We're just not scoring as much as we should. That Luton game, I think the first half we should have banged in 3 or 4. We're not scoring. And on top of that, we have a small situation at the back where we tend to leak in a couple of goals. So we're just not balanced. But we are definitely a stronger team. You see the midfield of Casemiro. It used to be who? Casemiro and Scott McTominay, or Casemiro with Eriksen. The legs and everything finished there. Casemiro couldn't defend by himself. Now he's got somebody very competent, something very capable in Kobe. That boy is... You know, I need to give United a big up, like a salute. Like United, I think it's one club in the world, correct me if I'm wrong, that has produced a lot of mint midfielders. And I'm talking like this is even taking it back, class of 92, blah, 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 all the way here. We've been producing some very, very good midfielders. And even in the academy right now, we've got a couple of brothers, like I don't know if are they Norwegian or Russian? I don't know. But we've got these brothers at United. One of them is a gem. But we always produce. Then we've got that Aaron boy, the other one with the blonde hair. We've had players, James Garner. I watch Garner. I still watch Garner when I get the opportunity. He's one player that I would have loved to see in the midfield with Kobe Menu. Imagine Kobe Menu and Garner. Now, I'm not saying like Garner is the Kumbaya savior, and that I'm ignoring Casemiro. No, but then these are homegrown talents. These are our players. These are players that can actually do a job. These kids have got bite. That midfield would have been stellar. But anyway, I can talk until the cows come home. It was a good. It was a good game. I know some of you, it's hard because you're still in your shells, still in your little caves. You're still doing the whole peekaboo. You're not sure. I get it. Take your time, do your thing, stay in your cave. Because this United team can do anything to us. Definitely can do anything to us. Like, we can sit there and start thinking, then boom, go and get smacked up, So, yeah, I get it. But then, in your reservation, in you taking a back seat in all this, don't shit on the boys. Don't get on their nerves. Don't do that. Stop there. Hey, you out. No. Stop that. Now, with that being said, it's Don Benito, and I'm out. Peace.